Today I have a little story about self-love. This is something I have really fucking struggled with my whole life. So back when I was living at a different place, I had like a half a year in a nice home and I really got into the groove. But I didn't realize that the problem was so much deeper than I previously realized. I acknowledged myself for the small things I did work related. So I had a little calendar where I had put all my habits and just crossed them off, which gave me a little dopamine rush. But this was all so surface level. I've tried to do affirmations. I've read a book about self-love. I was just staring into the mirror like I love myself, and I couldn't actually believe myself. There was a problem that was a lot deeper than just work, than just acknowledging what I did. In my studies and when I was a child, I have ADHD, and I always motivated myself by being overly intense about stuff and like doom think in order to get myself into fight or flight. And this process of creating stress for myself, this was not only there with work, it was also there on a way deeper level. And on a way deeper level, I recently figured out that I haven't acknowledged myself for anything in my life. And there was a deeper problem. There was a core that I was not touching with all these little fixes and all these little hacks. There was a deeper problem with this. And I have been working on an empty tank for like, oh my God, I gosh know how long, right? I've never given myself a reward for everything I have done and for every shit situation I pulled myself through. All these experiences in the past from being bullied and from not fitting in and from struggling with basic school and stuff, and I was just pushing through on an empty tank. And this empty tank that I'm talking about is like giving yourself the acknowledgement for actually doing a good job, right? I had a conversation at a party last weekend with a friend of mine, and I was talking about my business, how I could finally nerd out about YouTube and get paid for this, and I was so grateful. And he said to me, "But you worked so hard for it." And I was like, did I? I couldn't receive the compliment. And that was like, from hindsight, was a sign that I wasn't acknowledging myself for the hard work I put myself through. I dragged myself through in order to get this thing rolling. The difficult decisions that I made, like for not going for the job that was laid out for you, right? When like you do a college degree and I decided to do video instead, that was a hard decision. Every fucking step in my journey, I have not acknowledged myself for like making these choices and keep following my heart. And this is so, it didn't feel like I could give myself any credit. The actual moment that it clicked for me was with a conversation with Felicia like 2 days ago. Felicia said that you can't not respect someone if you truly love them. And this didn't ring true to me. I was like, but you can love someone and not respect them for their choices, right? If they constantly lie and screw people over or something, you can still love them. But and as I was moving through this thing in my head, I realized like it's true. If you truly love someone, then you automatically have to respect them. I don't respect myself, so I don't truly love myself. And this was already apparent. I knew I was struggling with self-love, but what this thing clicked for me is what does it actually mean to truly love someone? And that is to see them in their whole entirety, That's to see them in the giant context of their life, all the things they've dealt with. And if you see the whole picture, you can't not respect and love them, because everybody who does terrible things and all the people who do who lie and who cheat and who do all these things, it all comes from where they come from. And for this to really click with me, I really needed to have clear for myself that if you see the total context of someone's life, you automatically fucking respect that they're still fighting, right? And then I was like, oh my god, this applies to everybody. This applies to me too. You you know your own whole context. Nobody knows your context more than you do. So why the fuck am I not respecting myself? And for this moment, I just cracked open. And this is the video that I took when this happened.
I just, for the first time, truly acknowledged myself. We were talking about if you see the full picture of someone, you can do nothing but respect them. And I have such low self respect because every time I make a fucking mistake, I just fucking only see that. Well, if I zoom out and see the whole picture of myself, I just see someone who doesn't give up, no matter fucking what. And I never gave myself credit. And a friend yesterday said something to me. I was talking about my business and how I was so happy that I could finally nerd out about YouTube and get fucking paid for it. It's just been my fucking dream for so long. Like, actually sharing my knowledge and stuff. And he said he worked so hard for it, and I was, what? How the fuck did I just couldn't, like, fucking take the compliment because I just didn't resonate. But I fucking did. I did work hard. I worked hard all my life. I just didn't see that. And I think this is like true self love, like actually fucking contextualizing your experience and just acknowledging what you fucking went through. I never give myself fucking credit. I always said it, this isn't me, this is just me moving through life. I just don't feel like I can give myself any credit. But it was fucking hard, man.
So how I'm trying to integrate this is that I truly acknowledge myself for how far I've came. And like, you probably know David Goggins. He's like a fucking ultra marathon runner, and he was always talking about this concept called the cookie jar. And what he said about this concept is that whenever shit gets hard, you look at your past accomplishments and you will take a cookie out of the cookie jar, and that cookie is an experience or something that you've respected yourself for, and that if I can do that in the past, then I can do this now. And I never felt like I had a fucking cookie jar. But as I'm acknowledging myself and as I'm seeing myself for who I truly am, this cookie jar automatically gets filled. There are lots of moments where I fucking pulled through And I got to respect that in myself. And I did all of this without some fucking fuel for myself. I just did this on pure willpower. And I'm still not there, but I will forget this. And this is also why this video is also good to watch back, right? When I slip back into these habits of just only focusing on the outcome, and I can only give myself love until I've done that, or until I insert thing here, right? I never thought it was safe to say to myself, I did a good job, or I acknowledge that you went through something hard, right? Because I would always think that I would just hang back and just watch back on my accomplishments and never do anything anymore. That it was not safe, because whenever I relax, like after I just doom thought myself into studying for a final, I needed to recover for like 2, 3, 4 weeks. This pattern of me accomplishing something due to stress, that I subconsciously beat myself up. Like, why can't I fucking continue this? You know, my core mechanism of getting myself off my ass was just being mean to myself and creating these unrealistic things in my head, and that was the only way I could motivate myself. But now I just feel like if I really acknowledge myself and really give myself that love, right, I will only have more energy to do stuff. And right now I'm at a point in my life where creating more stress immediately shuts me down. Whenever I just feel this stress cropping up again, it's just like, fuck, it's there again. And then I stop, and then I feel it, and then work through it, and then I can go on with my life. But I never, like, this pattern is still in me, and I'm still working through it. But I'm at a point now where this fear isn't serving me anymore. I needed, I in my soul's journey, I probably needed that fear in the past to just get stuff done, right? But this has a counterproductive energy to it for me right now. And like, on the grand scheme of things, I've never fucking acknowledged myself for stuff out of fear of me just becoming lazy and stuff. But that's just me protecting myself, because I know my soul's mission, and that soul's mission is doing so much fucking work, and I subconsciously protected me doing work, even if that was unhealthy. But I now know that this emotional stress it's tapping so much energy away. And like, on the small scale, this looks like feeling like a winner when you went through the gym, when you showed up, and not like how many miles you ran. And all these little things, like I was on the right track in the previous place where I tracked things and I did affirmations and stuff. But the core of the problem was that I didn't feel safe to acknowledge myself, out of fear that I wouldn't get off my ass, right? That it wouldn't be safe in general. And that's why I never did it. I never could say to myself, like, actually, you did fine, you did great. And I still am struggling with it right now. But really, something really clicked. And I hope this receives you well, and maybe it clicks something for you too. But like, if you know your full context and know where you fucking came from, you gotta respect that in yourself, and you automatically start to love yourself. So that's me checking out, and see you in the next video.